Welcome back and thank you very much. My guest in the studio, Mohammed Adam Superu. He's the Member of Parliament for Sisala West constituency, and also Palgrave Boachi Dankwa. He is a government spokesperson on security and governance. Earlier you heard Engineer Dr. Ashibe with us. Now let's turn our attention to the IMF conversation. They're promising to help stabilize Ghana's economy. But we have also heard from some economists who have said IMF will not be the entire panacea to take us out of whatever hole we have dug ourselves into. Palgrave, where do you stand?
So, Johnny, you are aware that with IMF and prior to government starting a conversation with the IMF sometime this year, we have stated that there are a number of internal measures, homegrown solutions that we were putting together as a government to be able to address our precarious situation. Having done all of those homegrown solutions, in addition to that, government needed to start a conversation with the IMF. Now, I'm very excited, and yesterday the IMF CEO tweeted and stated very clearly that they were going to give us close to about $3 billion US dollars.
Right.
It will hit the Ghana government account maybe from the fourth quarter of this year. So it's exciting to see that. We are aware that IMF is not the only solution. Whilst we have already developed our homegrown solutions, one of which is the e-levy. Now, Johnny, I have extreme hope and confidence in all revenue mobilization policies that our government, especially the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has rolled out. Now, you realize that when we were discussing the SIM, I stated that there are close to about 42 million handsets, predominantly SIM cards in this country, which is more than the population of Ghana. Ghana is estimated as a population of maybe 30.8 million people. Now, if you want to be able to expand your tax bracket, then you need to look into avenues where the digital economy is growing significantly. Now, from 2016, the digital economy grew to about 76 million Ghana cedis. From then, it exponentially grew to about 500 million Ghana cedis. And as of this year, it's expected to grow close to about 1 trillion Ghana cedis. In terms of digital businesses that people are doing, online businesses that people are doing, buying and selling, and all of that sort. And so government sorted it wise that if you have the tax bracket where the larger part of tax is by 90% of that is from Greater Accra region and the rest are just shared across board, especially with our decentralization effort of making sure that the MP from Sisala has the adequate support that he needs. We put together some revenue tax, which is the e-levy, for people to pay and contribute significantly and own our own developmental agenda.
Did the government pay attention to the fact that Mohammed Superu, for example, could have 3 SIMs and that he is part of the statistics of 42 million and that the government may be looking at multiple taxation of the same individual? And you remember I'd asked you
I remember
that 1.5% conversation that if I did a transfer today on my Vodafone, on my Airtel Tigo, on my MTN, I'll be charged 1.5 on all.
You won't be charged 1.5 on all the 3 of them. When you, which is why the SIM card registration is important, and linking your Ghana card to the SIM card registration is key, because when I registered, I have 4 SIM cards. 2 is Airtel Tigo, and then 2 is MTN. Maybe my daughter has Vodafone, so that they don't get annoyed. So everybody has equal share. Now, if I register all these SIM cards, my MTN, my Tigo, my Airtel Tigo, and Vodafone and Glow, in my name, it's in my name. And so when I am doing a transaction of an amount of money above the threshold, in my name, I'm charged only once, because that unique identifier recognizes my name as the owner of all SIM cards.
But presently, that's not the case.
No, that's it.
Presently,
that's it. That's the case. That's the case.
That's the case.
That's the case. There were a few errors at the very beginning. And I came on your platform and stated that those errors were made up for in the conversations, that there are reversals that are going to be made back to persons that were charged. People did transactions at the very early part when we began on the 1st of May, the Sunday. The very early part, there were a few hitches. I mean, but as you know, with the development and roll-up of every innovative technological app, I mean, these challenges are bound to come up. But in the midst of that, I mean, all those reversals were made. People that made transactions, 50 Ghana cedis, that were charged 1.5%, they had their reversals back. Just as making transactions to other persons and calling your telecommunication company that you made a wrong transaction, and so they should reverse the money back to you. But, I mean, it's fair to state very clearly that we are confident about the bouncing back of the economy. I have posited the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 3 segments, and I would like to state it because you see, the test of a real leader is when the leader goes through challenges and survives those challenges.
Who put us through the challenge?
No one puts us through the challenges.
How do we
put ourselves through the challenges? Is it President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo who brought COVID-19 to this world? Not at all. I mean, we have had a significant global challenge, and I'm not sure anybody can excuse themselves from it. The United States of America cannot excuse themselves from it. Europe cannot excuse themselves from it. United Kingdom cannot excuse themselves from it. Asian tigers cannot excuse themselves from it. Middle East cannot excuse themselves from it. Or the whole world were plagued with a global pandemic that killed close to about 6 million plus people.
But you know,
globally, in this world,
in all,
died as
in
a
all
result
of these
that.
things that you are mentioning, those countries and those continents you are mentioning, their governments admit that this is our portion of the problem. In our case, the president is singing Shaggy. It wasn't me.
No, you see,
the government has not admitted that.
The government,
we also contributed to some of the issues.
The government has stated very clearly how we have been able to fight the COVID-19 pandemic to a 0 figure. At the time when the president was lifting up the ban this year, especially for the land borders, stated that we had no record whatsoever in any of the holding centers. And we had also significantly had a lot of vaccines come in country. People were already going on their booster, taking their booster and making sure that everybody is immune adequately.
That's not admitting that you also contributed to. Because if I give you rice, I give you oil, I give you tomato, I give you salt, I give you fish or meat, whatever it is, and I say cook jollof rice for me, and then the jollof rice turns out burnt, you cannot say it is the stove, it is the saucepan, it is the rice and everything else, but you, the person cooking it, you are not at fault.
Oh no, that analogy is wrong.
You can't see that.
No, there's no jollof that is burnt in this situation.
Right.
There's no jollof that is burnt. Not at all.
You have been downgraded. Fitch, Moody's, S&P, your economy, your exchange rate.
I don't know whether you found a document that came from the APRM of Africa Union. Now I've stated very well that when I read the APRM from the Africa Union, it clearly fixated that as a continent, we felt that those rating agencies have been very unfair to developing economies. And that's the truth. Because you see, the perspectives and the context with the conversations that we have also goes against us in a lot of the ratings. We, as a government, had invited them to come in country. The Ministry of Finance has sat with them, exposed them to all of our homegrown solutions. And then they go back and then they downgrade us. And you read the letters that had come from the Ministry of Finance. And it was, for me, when the APRM released their letter and questioned by the AU to state very clearly that it was unfair. I can send the documents to you.
I've seen it.
You've seen it. Good. It was unfair. The ratings were not justified. But in the midst of all of that, I mean, we are very confident. And I think that we remain very positive.
Are you suggesting that all was well before COVID came?
Absolutely. So I was going to my point of stating that I've posited President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's leadership in 3 segments. The first, 2017, extreme growth. 2018, extreme growth. 2019, extreme growth. 2020, COVID-19 hit us. First major 3.5 to 4 years, excellent leadership. Now, the trial moments of our government is 2020, 2021, and 2022. Those are the trial moments.
How do you call them trial moments when the finance minister was in parliament telling us that the surplus from COVID-19 borrowings came to support our budget? How do you call it trial moments?
No, it came to support our budget well enough. Trial moments are where the global economies are beginning to recover from the pandemic, and then another global issue happens which impacts everyone. The Russia invasion of Ukraine is not a conversation that can be underestimated.
But why Russia and Ukraine themselves are not suffering? The people fighting, the people fighting, they are not suffering as much as we are.
Yes.
We who are miles and miles away, we have not dodged any bullets.
The reason
we are
why
crying more than the people fighting.
The reason why they are not struggling as much as we are is that they are a developed country. Ghana is not Africa. In fact, and a larger part of, last week or 2 weeks ago, I did a research on migration, and I stated that the global world rate of migration is at 12 million people every single year migrating from their countries to other countries. 12 million.
What
people.
happened to Ghana beyond aid?
So clearly,
that will have come to play now.
If you look at it very well, you can clearly, confidently say that from 2022, as we speak now, to the end of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's tenure in 2025, 7th of January, I am very confident that these three-legged stool that our government has stood upon will become the triumphant legacy of any government. Because you see, we have given an example of how to be able to build an economy strongly from a recovering and ailing economy, and how we have held the country in the most difficult and toughest times where the country needed a leader. That is why in your front page paper, the newspaper stated that Ghanaians should be happy that they have President Akufo-Addo as president.
I don't know how that was tested.
I don't even know why the contest, but really,
I don't know how that was tested.
We as a country, we are very happy. The good people of this country are happy. I received a text message from somebody in the northern region telling me about free SHS and how it has impacted them. Honorable, I'm very sure that your people in Sisala as well have benefited from free SHS. So the Ghana Beyond Aid, really, you see, when we talk of Ghana Beyond Aid, we are looking at a country where everyone sitting around the table have built the enough muscle to be able to hold conversations with global giants and targets. And you see that we have AFTA in this country. Now, AFTA headquartered in this country is all part of Ghana's contribution, so that when we come to the day where we have our own enough resources, our own enough educational capacity and capability, where we have put all the structures in place, I'm very certain that years to come, when Ghana celebrates 100 years, in the next few years, the Ghanaian people will remember the leadership of President
final one.
Nana
You're going
Akufo-Addo.
to the IMF, and I'm struggling to see how Ghana is beyond aid now, because if you look at our borrowing portfolio, we don't appear like people who are ready to be beyond aid. But we are with the IMF now. The NDC has not seen your program to the IMF. CSOs are asking questions as to where the program is. You want us to come together, rally around the flag to let Ghana bounce back. But what it is that you are presenting on our behalf to go and get this $3 billion, you have kept to your chest. Is that how to run a country?
Not at all. I'll tell you something. Our enhanced program has been ready since March.
Where is it?
Our enhanced program has been very ready.
Where is the program?
Our enhanced program has been very ready since March.
Where is it?
No, you see, let's take it easy. We set up. I was here on your station when you listed a 40-member team that had been set up to engage with the IMF. Exactly. Now, these 40-member team came from different segments of the country, from different sectors. True or not true? Exactly. So every single sector is very well represented in these 40
where's the
member
document?
team. The enhanced
are you not
program,
worried? Are you not worried that the press does not have access to it?
I'm not worried. No.
The opposition does not have access to it.
No. You see, it's a lot of patience with governance, really, that we must look at. Ghana's enhanced program has been ready since March of 2022.
Where is it?
Ghana's enhanced program has been ready since March 2022.
Where is it? Where's the document?
That's what I'm saying. Ghana's enhanced program has been ready.
Where can I get a copy of the document?
The 40-member team.
Okay.
Ghana's enhanced program has been ready since March 2022.
Have you seen the document, the program we are presenting to IMF?
I'm yet to see the program. I have not seen any document. And my brother is saying that our enhanced
it's been ready since March.
Ready since March 2022.
Yes.
The question I want to ask is, when did we take the decision to go to IMF?
So let me explain.
That's
Excellent, excellent question.
No, I'm coming. I mean,
but he asked the question. I need to. He asked the question. No, I will not. I will not keep long. No, I will not keep long.
You've had your
No,
time.
I will not keep long. I will not. This is just 2 minutes. In fact, 1 second.
You want 2 minutes?
1 second.
You want 2 minutes of my time?
No. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 3
Allow him.
seconds.
You can
I will
note
have even
it.
said this.
You can note it down. Yes.
I will note
When
it.
did we take the decision to go to IMF? You realize, Johnny, even a week to the day of the IMF announcement, the finance minister was still in parliament saying that government was never going to go to IMF. So if he is telling me that Ghana, our enhanced program was ready since March, so I want to know who and who put together that program, and at what point did they realize that indeed, as a country, we needed to go to IMF, and the finance minister, who is part of the economic management team, was not aware that Ghana were going to IMF? This is my first question. You are talking about you are putting together in-house programs to ensure that the economy is bounced back and all. Right. My brother, we've been hearing all these things since 2017. When you want to talk, they want to take you back to 2017, 2018 growth and all of that. I've always been saying, we sit here, if you have a problem with headache, there is an immediate first aid that you need to take, which is painkiller. Right. But that will not solve the solution. Painkiller, it will, let the pain of your headache come, isn't it?
Right.
It will reduce
the pain
exactly.
But then it will not completely clear it.
Yes, until we get to know the root cause of that headache and solve it to totality, you still continue to have this kind of painkiller. You know why today the CD or the exchange rate is at a free flow as if nobody cares about what is happening in that country? You know, this government is always good at borrowing. And because of the grading that these agencies graded our economy as one of the worst. In fact, they describe it as the junk. So when you go to the market to float even bonds, nobody is ready to deal with. Once you hear the name Ghana, all investors start running away. Nobody's ready to come to. So
you don't think that the IMF coming in will do anything?
And so until the finance minister resigns as the finance minister, and the president must change the economic management team with this same team going to IMF to negotiate on behalf of this country, my brother. I don't think that our issue
will be solved. Okay, thank you very much. Palgrave Dankwa is government spokesperson on security and governance, and also Mohammed Adam Sukweru is the MP for Sisala West constituency. They've been my guest. Earlier you heard Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, CEO of the Telcos Chamber. Later in business at 7 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. we'll follow up on claims that 713 month, not $750 million was credited to the Bank of Ghana account. Also, the finance minister has presented a fiscal framework to the IMF. We'll tell you more, and we'll tell you more about how the forex market is reacting to the Afrim Exim Bank facility that's coming in right now. Thank you to Grand Park Clothing at Dansoman from my Afri 020-985-5696. Homegrown policies. We'll see you after the break.